going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brotherly Banter. Ah, gonna be a touchy one. I feel like it's not gonna go on forever because there's several things now that I have to attach to this conversation.
Okay.
However, I am your host, Corey. This is my co-host, Courtney. Dragon Ball. Like, I feel like they do. If you haven't heard the news, the announcement came out a couple weeks ago. Dragon Ball dropped their upcoming series called Dragon Ball Children. I don't know.
That's the name of
However,
it. It's not even close to the name
it's
of it.
not, but that's
Continue.
what they had turned into. Which you can tell it's derived from, obviously, it has a connection to GT when they were the kids, but obviously now they're with godlike powers. We don't know, but usually that's how it looks like it's going. Animation looks good, but the consensus is like you have people that say, "Oh, the Dragon Ball fans are stupid, y'all all over emotional." You know how people post stuff and they start up with something just to get a reaction of people at the bottom. And I read it just to gauge people's response. And one person said, Dragon Ball's going to wait to the 10th anniversary of Super, I believe it was, which is into next year or the year after. I can't remember. I was at a year. I'm sorry, it can't be next year. It would have to be the year after because I know that's when the series drops next year. Somebody said, because of marketing, Dragon Ball will Toei and Shueisha would drop the new Super thing. And my thing is, I don't care. Like, why? I get it. I guess from a business practice, you want to hype it up, and the anniversary. Next thing, so that means every 10 years you're gonna get Super. That's
I mean, I don't think it'll be every 10 years. I just think they already had planned out to make this Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
And then probably the year after, because with Toei, remember they animate a lot of other stuff, especially One Piece, I think Dragon Quest, and maybe like a few other popular ones.
So, I get it.
Obviously, they need time to animate big budget series. One Piece is weekly, and then certain other stuff is kind of, I think, weekly. So I'm pretty sure they had Super, and then when Super ended, they were already working on this one. And then probably after this one, and probably Super Part 2 or whatever they're gonna call it, Super 2. I don't know.
Because everybody's sitting there whenever the trailer dropped, like, we ain't seen Moro. Like, we didn't see Moro. No. We ain't seen Granola. Like, nothing. We don't care about this. You guys are giving us literally everything but what we want.
Yeah, unless after this airs, maybe the next one was going to be the movie first, so maybe they'll do a movie for Super. I mean, because think about it, they do a movie. I mean, most the bigger popular anime always do a movie at some point. Like One Piece will do a movie again at some point, even though they had one to come out. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago? Last year, I want to say, or during the summer actually. And then at some point they're going to do another movie again. Same thing with Super. Last one was Heroes. My boy Gohan represent.
Yeah.
And then at some point they're going to do it another one. So probably, which could be at the 10-year anniversary, they could just go, hey, Super's coming back or working on it. I mean, they should be done by time, The anniversary is like, hey, this is the trailer for a new Super. And then we have a movie coming out probably like next year or something like that, or maybe before.
Yeah, I think with me, I tend to look at, I get Dragon Ball. I think a lot of things with Dragon Ball is their name.
Yeah.
So when they finally drop something, it's like, oh my God, break servers. You remember, we stayed up until like 1 a.m. waiting for Goku and Jiren to fight because the thing wouldn't work. I get it. And I get that's what they have to go, like they have that leverage to say, who cares? It's just like, y'all gonna watch it, you're gonna break the internet. Ego Vegeta's gonna show up in Legends and Dokkan and all these other Camoros. So I understand. It's just kind of annoying. I think that's what it is, because you look at all these other animes and they come out, even Demon Slayer, right? It comes out, but then it's like a year somewhat break. Because I get it, they have to animate the whole thing.
Yeah. Because like I said, no, continue.
One Piece, obviously, every week. I get what's the one I just finished up? Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I get it every week, but I get the finale they wanted to spread out, much like Demon Slayer. When the finale, it's basically at the finale, just about. They're talking about maybe putting some of it into a movie. They're trying to
Mm,
expand. So I get that. I get from a business practice. That's like some time ago when we talked about Demon Slayer when Mugen Train dropped.
yeah.
I was like, from a business practice, yeah, of course, they would probably make more movies, which they did. I didn't have to go see it, but I went to see it
Yeah.
because they put it in the series. Um, with Dragon Ball, I mean, I understand what they're gonna make money regardless of what they drop.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just not really a fan of their business
Okay.
practice, and I probably just me. I'm
Mhm.
sure it is. Yeah, I'm not really super crazy about their business practice because it seems like because they know people are gonna watch and pay, they
Yeah.
can extend it as much as they want
Well, also you gotta think
to.
about comparing it to Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer
Yeah.
and other anime.
Mhm.
You gotta remember Toei does a lot of animation
Yeah.
compared to most other studios. Like Foldable Mappa does like the same few series.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have too much on their plate
Yeah.
compared to Toei where they're spreading everyone out to,
Yeah.
animate these. So like you said, One Piece is every week. They have other
Yes.
shows. I mean, Dragon Ball is obviously gonna be probably like top five on their plate, like one or two when they
Yeah.
have to work on stuff like that. Obviously, Attack on Titan, the same thing when with their studios, but they have less work compared to Toei. So
Yeah.
I'm not
I
surprised that Super isn't. I know we joke about it all the time, but I'm really not surprised Super
Yeah.
isn't here yet.
Yeah.
When since they're doing this first, and you never know, this one that's coming out could be really good,
It
and
could.
people could just really. I mean, people are still going to complain because it's not
Of
Super,
course. Yeah. I think it
but
depends on because I think it depends on where this takes place also.
yeah.
Because if it's after granola, or I don't
Mhm.
know if it's a side thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's after granola, okay, if that's their way of kind of showing you can hint at ego,
Mhm.
you can hint at perfect mastered ultra Huai, whatever UI version he's at this point. It
Okay.
makes no sense. Gohan, Piccolo, like
Yeah.
if you have like I, I just popped up in my head. Kid versions of them would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it would be so crazy to watch. I think we would just laugh, and maybe that's just where it's maybe it's just something just to fill in.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I think obviously I feel like this was something just to
Yeah.
fill in before, like you said, they drop another movie, which I don't know. It's very hard to figure out at this point where the movie would even go because you haven't shown. Because remember, they're not going to show the things in the manga yet because it's not
Yeah.
animated. So it's like, what in the movie? Like, would it be a side thing? Because you can't keep. We know manga fans know ego exists.
Yeah.
They know,
Unless they do make an arc into a movie. That's the only because if they're gonna do
yeah,
this
because that
big of
would
a
have to
gap,
be that would have to be moral.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless
Yeah,
they do that, and then I mean, obviously, when anime comes back, they're just gonna take the movie and put it into the show.
yeah,
So either way,
that
it
is
works
true.
for
That
them
is
to
a
give them enough time. So there's like, all right, we'll put this here, and then maybe at the end of the Dragon Ball series that's coming out, they go Super's coming back and
something.
like
Yeah, but they
whatever
make the moral
year.
arc a movie just to
Yeah,
start off.
or tease more or something like do
Yeah,
something at the end of this one to lead up into to
I
Super
see your
2,
point.
and then that's where they have a filler Dragon Ball so people can stop
Yeah.
complaining that there's no Dragon Ball
We
series
are
out.
going to complain.
Yeah,
Like it's like we're looking
and
at all these other
then
animes, and it's just
yeah,
like,
so at
yeah,
least that way it can go. Or you got that, and then maybe like the following year
yeah,
it's that. Then I guess the second year would be like the 10-year
anniversary,
thing
and then
because
they
they could
drop
drop
it.
like a
Yeah,
movie or drop the show.
because I think by now the Gohan. So where they're at in the manga, whoever doesn't know, and I'm not
Mm,
sure if you know either.
no, I don't.
Where they're in the manga, they're basically redoing superhero. At this point, this end of this month, they should be showing the Gamma already sacrificed himself.
Wow, spoiler.
Shut up. Gamma already sacrificed himself. So it should be wrapping up in like the
Yeah,
next two, but by what is it, November?
yeah.
December, January should start the next
Arc.
arc.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming so now it's going to be okay. Where are they going with the next arc? Because I'm
Yeah.
sure by time the next couple of years comes, they should be because they would have Moro, Granola. They're not going to redo Gohan. I doubt
You
that
never know.
because it's so weird how they didn't. Gosh dang it! Unless, yeah, they could do
They
that.
could.
Out of a mother, they could
Like,
because it's
I mean,
moral.
they've redone every movie so far.
Yeah,
Remember, they did Frieza. They did Battle of the
yeah. So they
Gods.
probably do
Yeah.
because it's moral, granola, then it's superhero, and then
Hmm.
whatever happens after superhero,
Yeah.
and then whatever. Yeah, and then I guess by then they would have about one, two, three. They could push out 4 or 5 arcs
Yeah.
in one thing, or maybe one continuous thing until they, because I think they want to get the manga ahead
Oh,
with
obviously.
like much like everybody else. So I understand. It's just annoying. So
You
annoying.
would.
The other part I want to address, and it makes me laugh with them because I know they did. I know Akira didn't have a take in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a rogue agent trying to do something. But it makes me laugh looking at One Piece,
Uh.
looking at Avatar,
Mm-hmm. Yu
Yu
Hakusho.
Yu Hakusho. I think they rushed the villain.
Tagoro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see
that's
it.
the only thing I would say about that. The fight scenes look great.
Yeah.
Everything looks great. I think Tagoro. I think because I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, you, that can't be you, unless it's like a cliffhanger kind of thing. Like they just tease him in a fight scene, but then it's not until the tournaments later.
I think they actually do fight him at least once.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Uh.
Like they fight him, but they don't. There's no definitive.
Yeah.
Like he basically whacks the floor with them, and
Yes, I can see
then
it.
it leads into like the next. That's the only way I can see them doing that. Because if not, I'm like, bro, because this is like a one deal. I feel better.
Okay, you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry.
That's a child.
Thank you so much for joining us. On the next episode, we gotta talk about the Marvels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of unnecessary hate going on,
There
and we're gonna
really
dive
is.
deep into this.
There is.
It's
The one thing I will say that I saw today, or there's an article that came out, was like, oh, this is the lowest rated Marvel movie or something. Everyone's like, you're
no, it's not.
skipping. No, people's like, you're skipping the point. Like, none of these articles are talking about the strike, and that's
Mhm.
why they couldn't go out and like by the time the
Advertise it,
strike
yeah,
ended, the movie was literally coming out like the next
yeah,
day or two. So it's like they had
and
no time to
they didn't
advertise
even
the movie.
advertise the you know how Marvel uses as a premiere, the live
Yeah,
stream. I
they
didn't even know
couldn't.
about that. Like it popped up randomly
Yeah,
on YouTube, and I was like, oh, because I usually will watch the live
yeah.
stream of it. So, but I don't want to give
I
everything
know,
away
I
right
know.
now.
I
But yeah,
will.
we're gonna dive deep
Yeah,
into
I
that because
will say I do agree with one of something somebody said was the movie should have been 2 hours long,
okay,
and like 2 hours and like 15-20 minutes
yeah,
to expand it even more.
yeah,
Because they said it did feel a little
rush,
rushed
yeah,
with some of the stuff, which I do agree. I do wish
yeah,
it was like another hour or so, a
yeah,
couple of minutes longer, just to lengthen it out a
yeah.
little bit, and I think it would have been fine. But yeah,
But yeah, we're
that's
gonna
my say.
dive deep. I don't want to give it all away
Yeah.
because I have my personal points with to deal with people, not the movie, just journal like people who
Yeah.
made comments, and we're gonna go into that a little bit more. It'll be comic book related, but also how this stupid world is operating right now. So thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I've memorized
I
this.
hope you have by now.
I hope so
I
too.
hope so too.
Until
Favorite.
next time.